Rampage, do you know Ligma?
Today's biggest MMA debate centers around UFC's apparent lack of star power, and it all kicked off with boxing promoter Eddie Hearn lighting the spark on Ariel Helwani's show. Hearn didn't hold back, claiming he couldn't even name 6 UFC superstars right now, drawing a bold line between MMA and boxing in terms of mainstream appeal. The MMA community fired up in response, but interestingly, not all pushed back. Veteran analyst Luke Thomas actually sided with Hearn, pointing to a shift in how modern UFC fighters approach the game. According to Thomas, too many are playing it safe, chasing decisions instead of finishes, and opting for risk-free strategies over highlight reel moments. He argued that this cautious style, while effective, is stifling the rise of true superstars, the kind of magnetic, knockout-hunting personalities that once carried the UFC into mainstream pop culture. With this conversation now spreading fast across the MMA world, the spotlight is on the UFC's next generation, and whether anyone is ready to break out of the pack.
Like, boxing's on fire right now. It's controlling all the narrative digitally across social media on a far different level to MMA and UFC right now. MMA is a poor relative. It's really down to the actual product, which is the fights. Like, if you said to me now, name me 6 UFC superstars, I couldn't do it. It's just cyclical, with the talent. The problem is with UFC, they always want the brand to be bigger, their brand to be bigger than that of the fighter.
Star power can be developed, absolutely. I just don't feel like we're there with a lot of guys who could be there. They have a notable lack of ability when it comes to the finishing. Maybe more attention could be paid to developing those skills. It would allow you to keep the same game plan for at least large stretches of a fight. It would actually potentially, anyway, result in shorter fights if they can actually develop those skills in the gym. I think it's more palatable to the audience. I think it's better for the sport, and I honestly think it's better for developing star power.
Henry Cejudo previews Bo Nickal's strengths ahead of his toughest test yet against Reinier De Ridder, and he's giving the wrestling phenom real credit. Henry sees what most do: elite pressure, insane grappling control, and a calm, methodical style that drowns opponents. But the big question now is whether Bo can hang with the best in the world. His last fight against Paul Craig got fans talking, and not necessarily in a good way. Craig isn't known for his striking. Bo chose to stay standing and outpointed the veteran over 3 rounds. On one hand, that's impressive for a guy just entering the MMA scene. On the other, fans expected more. A finish, a dominant beatdown. Instead, it was steady, calculated, and to some, underwhelming. But here's the thing, Bo's got the mindset. He didn't rush, didn't make rookie mistakes, and showed he can handle the pace. Still, the real tests are coming. The Whitakers, the Izzies, guys who punish hesitation and stuff takedowns. That's the level he'll eventually need to be. For now, the De Ridder fight is another step up. Against a tricky, unorthodox grappler who won't fear the ground, Bo will need more than control this time. He'll need damage, pressure, and a little chaos.
His top control of heavy pressure, being that 3-time NCAA champ, is the biggest problem, and it's his biggest weapon as a fighter. They allow you, they wrap you up, they control your wrist, they let you try to work up to eventually break you back down. And I will say this about Bo Nickal, he has improved his hands. You know, he went all 3 rounds with Paul Craig and beat him. And beat Paul Craig in just the hands, dude. It's just the hands where he was just, you know what, I'm not even gonna go for a takedown. That's how confident he was with his hands. But without further ado, I think what really makes Bo Nickal dangerous, and it could be the biggest gift, but it could also be the worst curse too, is he's got supreme confidence. I mean, he hasn't fought the who's just yet, but he is a star in the making. Is he a star yet? No, not yet. He's popular, but you have to earn that.
Things got violently out of hand between Michael Bisping and his older brother Conrad during a drunken night that spiraled into chaos. Bisping didn't hold back when recalling the incident. The tension between them had been simmering for years, and once alcohol got involved, the lid finally blew off. This wasn't just a heated exchange, it turned brutal fast. Bisping pushed to his limit, grabbed a bottle, and smashed it over Conrad's head in a moment of blind rage. But Conrad wasn't fazed. He's not only bigger and heavier, but a decorated grappler too, and as soon as the bottle shattered, he pounced, wrapping Bisping in a vicious choke and refusing to let go. The two were locked in a primal brawl, neither man backing down, both completely fueled by ego, adrenaline, and alcohol. Bisping said they'd had scuffles before, but nothing had ever exploded like this. It was raw, aggressive, and dangerous. Two brothers trying to dominate each other in the most physical, violent way imaginable, and the fact they were both drunk made it all the more unpredictable and intense. And how it all ended, Bisping took an L.
Conrad did a lot of grappling. He was also 6'6" and built like a brick shit house. So, I mean, I've got one story that I don't want to tell because I don't come off too well in it. We were heavily intoxicated and I was in the front seat and he was in the back and he was like leaning over and punching me from the back. So I'm like, ah! And I had a beer bottle in my hand. Done with the beer bottle because he was cracking me. It escalated rather quickly from there. He's choking me out in the car. So I managed to break free. I jump out. As he's getting out the car, I've opened the car door and I'm smacking the car door on him. Right? And then he finally gets out. He gets out and he gets me in a rear naked choke. So he's got me in a rear naked choke on the floor in the middle of the snow. And I'm like, you know, and tapping ain't going to work. I'll pretend I've gone unconscious and he will let go of me. I'm there, but I'm still awake. And he's still choking. I'm like going, might actually kill me in a second. And then eventually he lets go.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson calls out Carlos Prates. After the Brazilian came up just short against Ian Machado Gary, despite a thrilling late surge, the veteran striker has thrown his name in the hat, calling for a showdown with the Brazilian knockout artist. Wonderboy kept it simple and sharp. He quite literally begged Carlos to sign the contract. While Prates may have lost on the scorecards, his explosive style and wild power in the final round turned heads. Now, a striking chess match between him and one of the most technical stand-up fighters in UFC history would be a perfect test. And a fan favorite matchup. You think Wonderboy still has what it takes to handle a power puncher like Prates? Leave your comments below.
Prates, Carlos, will you please sign the contract? You know what I'm saying? Just sign the contract. Get out there, let's have some fun, let's put on a show, let's punch each other in the face and go have a beer afterwards. Maybe a few cigarettes on your part. I mean, two strikers. It will be a striking extravaganza, if you will. You know, because I'm not. Ian Gary. He's good at the grappling. He's good at the wrestling. We are good at it to try to keep the fight standing, right? Me and Prates, we want the fight to stay standing. We want to see who the best striker is in the UFC.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.